Would therapy really change anything for me? It likely can't make it worse to try therapy. Therapy might help with some perspective. Man. Hope you don't reach my age feeling shitty. Try all the help you can get. Therapy is different for everyone. For some, it is life-changing and helps them immensely. Others get nothing out of it. Best way to find out is to give it a try and see if it works for you and your needs. That's what therapy is there for. What do you have to lose? The longer you stay in it, the worse it gets. You can stay unhappy or try to move forward. You're 17. Life is literally just starting. Stop thinking that it's all over or this is it. You're a kid. Not even old enough to vote. Just give it time. Actual time. Therapy can help anyone at any point in their life as well. I see from your previous posts this is something you've been struggling with for a while and can't quite convince yourself of. Why not give it a try? If you want to stop you can, but you should start and see where it goes. My partner was skeptical as well, but they love their therapist and have generally been doing better. It's a place to talk to someone who you can relay every detail that you can't tell people you know. My advice would be to try because you never know until you do. Hope it helps and best of luck. Therapy works best if you are open to self-reflection and change, and willing to do the work. Personally, I think most of us could benefit from an occasional mental health checkup. If you were handed $10 billion right now, what would you still never buy? Those rocks that Gwyneth Paltrow shoves up her cooch. Plain athleisure that looks like it came from a slightly upscale store at an outlet mall but costs well over $1,000. An extended warranty for my car. No matter how many times they call. Any food wrapped in gold leaf. Adds nothing in terms of flavor. Looks tacky and sticks to your teeth. Bud Light. Not because I'm not in favor of trans rights. I very much am. But because it is shit. Cigarettes. Why overpay for an addiction that gives you bad breath and cancer? Cigarettas. Not one fucking dime will go to line the pockets of an industry that kills people and gets them addicted. A sports car. Too much like work to get out of them. I'll never buy the sad look my cat gives me which says he hasn't eaten enough, Hess on a diet and has a robot food dispenser. Anything worth $10 billion and 1 cent. An insanely expensive and fast car. It'd just end up killing myself. I am never paying the absurd amount for food delivery services like Uber Eats, Grubhub, etc. I will just go get the food myself. Every single goddamn time. Even if I was rich as a king. I'm not paying $20 for a $10 meal from McDonald's. Edible gold. Gold-plated toilets. Really anything that has no purpose except to show how rich you are and that you can afford to throw away money. Sharks. Unless they have laser beams attached to their heads. Or sea bass unless they're incredibly ill-tempered. In all seriousness. Shark fin soup. My choice isn't a purchase, but I would still never donate to any politician or political party ever. Fuck 'em. What's one job that is stereotyped to women that you think more men should do? Teaching. It'll go as far as there should be a push to have more male than female teachers, or at least most boys are taught by male teachers. Teaching would be great, but it seems like men who get into teaching often feel frustrated and leave once they find out the way they get treated isn't worth it. So first, they'd need to look into this and investigate the atmosphere there. Therapists. We really need more male therapists so it's easier for men who need therapy to see someone who understands how men work. Plus, in my personal opinion, in general the male therapists that out there tend to be better than most female therapists. Literally higher caliber of professionals. I think men tend to be rational observers more so than women, and we tend to prefer solutions and goal-oriented outcomes which men tend to respond better to. Secretary, administrative assistant, front office, and office management. White-collar employment that usually requires few credentials and focuses on either logistics, organization, and interpersonal skills. Composition is close to 95% female in these roles. There's no reason for men not to get their foot into businesses through this route or to dedicate themselves to these professions. For me, it's being a receptionist. I like the idea of one. Answering phone calls. Making sure things are lined up correctly like meetings, appointments, events, etc. But women have dominated the industry. And rightfully so. Since a receptionist is the face of the company, and apparently BC they have smaller fingers so they can type better. But men can be just as good. And more men should go after it if they want it. I see it as another job route that a man could take if they didn't want to go into the physical labor field. Why are cheerleaders at professional sports still a thing? Because it's one of the few co-ed sports programs. Because there are people who enjoy it, it still takes a ton of athletic skill. Gives scholarships to people who otherwise wouldn't be able to afford to go to college and gives people a job to make a living. Why is that bad? Otherwise people wouldn't know when to clap. There's a ton of downtime in sports. Look at how NBA games bring out jugglers, plate spinners, trampoline dunkers, and all sorts of other time-killing crap. Where terrorists demand, terrorists supply. 'Cause they're hot. Duh. Huh? I do not understand your question. Do you not enjoy bobbies? Why is how a woman makes her living important to you? Do you question whether OnlyFans is exploitive? Or is that somehow empowering? Because people from the 50s are still alive. More women would watch it if they had men just as scantily clad. Because the networks very carefully measure every moment a viewer is paying attention. It made economic sense to continue showing these women performance. Men. How do you deal with feelings of loneliness? I was super sad and lonely after an 8-year relationship with the person I wanted to spend the rest of my life with. Took me about 12 years to fully get over her. I learned that you can't compare every prospect you meet to your previous love. Everyone is different. For me, it was finding passion and focus in my hobbies and learning new skills. The most important thing was to put myself in situations where I could meet new people and be emotionally available and want to meet people. Textbook depression. Been there. Done that. My situation was pretty much exactly what you described. Find a hobby you love and then just try your best to be your authentic self. If possible, get therapy to work on getting rid of the feeling of loneliness. It's a plague that will make you clingy and ruin all your relationships. Post-bad breakup. I was depressed. I didn't have a single friend. And I was terribly unhappy with my life. Then I found rock climbing and wow. It's been a wild year. I love my life now. Bro, are we the same person? I'm 31 meters and it's awful. I hate most things in my life and about myself. I eat better. Work out 4 to 6 times a week. Do decently well at work. Everything else around me is just downright nothingness. Friends have gone and moved on with their lives. Most my family is dead. Love life is non-existent. I've been with 2 people. Never been in a relationship. The last girl I really messed up on. It's still fresh in my head. Just got to learn to power through all the different things thrown at you and keep moving forward. I started therapy last week and will be looking to get a psychiatrist appointment to be put on meds if they are needed.